Hi, I'm Jennifer and this is Kate, and today we want to make you smile.
So I definitely think over the past year, we've been figuring out that pandemic brain is a real thing. Like, you can't remember how it used to be before. Like, how far apart did we used to stand in line anyway?
I don't even know. Or when you see pictures and people are all standing together and you think, how could they be standing so close together? So, we go along and we have all these stresses and cares of trying to figure out the new normal, but we think we're coping all right until one night you go into the kitchen to make dinner and you can't remember how to make a taco. Does the meat go into the shell first or does the lettuce?
I have no idea. I don't think it really matters too much. Well, which goes first?
I couldn't remember, and I know, for taco salad, obviously the lettuce goes first, but there's got to be a right way, and I just couldn't remember.
Anyway, it's definitely been a strange and hard past year, so today we wanted to try and make you smile.
So we're going to take you back a year, and we're going to show you some of our favorite memes that have come out during the pandemic. We just want you to smile, laugh, and forget about all your cares for a while. Alright, so happy 1 year pandemic anniversary. I don't know if that's a thing, but anyway, sometimes it helps to look back over the past year and see how far you've come. For instance, I am very thankful that we're not at the start of the pandemic because no worries now about toilet paper. But remember this meme from the beginning of the pandemic? I think that was a good, foreshadowing of what was to come. Alright, and then this one, remember cruise ships? How it all started when the cruise ships were in quarantine. Now, I know it wasn't funny if your vacation got ruined because you are on a cruise ship, but I had forgotten about how the cruise ships were all in limbo. So anyway, maybe cruise ships will sail again soon. We can be hopeful. Now, this is just good advice. If your kids haven't seen Back to the Future, you should definitely show that to them, and definitely you want to avoid 2020, Marty. All right, and this was Kate's favorite meme, the creepy doll. She said, well, there you go. That just sums up 2020, and I have to agree. All right, now we know that the pandemic started last year during Lent of 2020, and hasn't it just felt like it's been one continuous Lent since then? So this meme is one of my favorites.
So now we have some memes about more of life in the pandemic. So the first one pretty much sums up adjusting to work at home when the Navy works at home. This is so accurate. I love this. So then we have this one with the dog. I love this one as well because that's like exactly what the pandemic felt like, just a big slap in the face that we weren't ready for. And then we have this one. One does not simply have a normal family. That is exactly what I'm starting to feel like.
Our family is fine. It's fine.
No, they're not fine.
We're on film.
They are not fine. And then some days you just felt like this and you really did want to replace your head. So then we have this one, which I'm thinking might have been an actually effective way to keep us from touching our faces during the beginning of the pandemic, but no one ever talks about that anymore. And then we have this one. We had to throw in a Bernie meme here. But it just did feel like this, though. Nobody talks about the inauguration. All they talk about is the Bernie memes.
All right, now we're moving on to how our perception of time changed during the pandemic. So I like to start with this one. My 90-day trial to 2020 is up. I would like to unsubscribe, but you can't unsubscribe. So this is what happened as we went further into the pandemic. All right, how many of you think this sounds familiar? Anyone else have no idea what day it is? So I think as we went along through the pandemic, we definitely all had times when the days just all seemed to run together. And when that happened, we got this. Until further notice, the days of the week are now called this day, that day, other day, someday, yesterday, today, and next day, because it didn't really matter. And then there were some days that just stood out in our minds when we just hit a wall, like day 79 of quarantine. I've moved my bed to the couch to cut down my commute. I also have forgotten where my pants are.
So now we have a couple of memes about school during the pandemic. And I think this first one is totally relatable to so many people, especially who have had to start homeschooling during the pandemic. So this is Sue. She is 31 years old. She has been homeschooling her 4 kids for the past week. That sounds exactly right. And I think this one, a lot of parents can also relate to as well. Me and my kids' daily Zoom meeting trying to learn 2nd grade math. And then there's this one, how's the old homeschooling going? This one, I believe my brother and I would do this when we were kids.
You did do it.
We would get into packing peanuts and make such a huge mess like this. And then there's this one, Mom gets a phone call, it's recess time.
All right, continuing on with school, how about this? School on Zoom. Online school sounds a lot like summoning ghosts. Mike, are you with us? Mike, can you hear us? Mike, if you're there, say something. Okay, so we shouldn't summon ghosts, but anyway, that's funny. And another favorite for me, teaching on Zoom this summer with my confirmation students, I think you can see, please don't talk during instruction versus online class. Please, somebody say something. I had students where, I never saw their face the whole time I taught them class. So this one made me chuckle because a lot of kids don't really like to be on camera. And so they put up things like fish, and that's just how it went. How many of you tried to keep it fun and interesting for your students with things like Star Wars math? Even though professors is spelled wrong, we'll just overlook that because it's the pandemic. And finally, here I am waiting for the end of school and for summer to come.
So now we have some more Lent memes because I think we all need a good laugh during Lent, pandemic or not. And the first one is extremely relatable. I have definitely done this when you forget that it's Friday and you eat meat and it's just that type of feeling. This guy, he just says it all. I don't always crave meat, but when I do, it's a Friday of Lent. And the same thing with goes for Chick-fil-A on a Sunday. I swear. And then this one is also like the first one, when you realize you're supposed to be fasting and you forgot about it. That one always gets me, especially on Ash Wednesday, because it's been such a long time since we've had to fast. And so then ones like this make Lent just a little bit more bearable. I'd like to take you out for a small meal that, when combined with another small meal, doesn't exceed your large meal.
Moving on with more Lent, I call this the Lent evasion tactic. Giving up Facebook for Lent has allowed me more time for my Pinterest addiction. Here's that moment when you realize you really should not have given up coffee for Lent. Here's a good one. Catholic moms be like, offer it up. Yeah, some days are like this, and that's all you can do is just offer it up. And then some days are just super rough, and then you get to this point. For Lent this year, I'm just giving up. But we hope you're not there, so we want to make you smile and laugh today with our memes.
So one of the definite challenges that comes during Lent is daylight savings time, and we lose that hour. I think this one pretty much does it all. The clocks go forward next weekend. Not sure how far forward, but I think 4 months should do. Maybe we can get out of the pandemic if we just make the clocks go forward a lot farther than they're supposed to. Then there's this one. I just love daylight savings time. Said no mom ever. Yes, I am sure of this. And then we have this one, which is so accurate. It's like, finally, we have sunshine. And then it's like, oh yeah, 1 less hour of precious sleep. And then, I choose darkness. I'm not getting out of bed. Except you kind of have to, because it's Sunday morning and you have to go to church and you can't choose darkness.
But it wasn't all doom and gloom, or it isn't all doom and gloom in the pandemic. There have been good things. For instance, we have a vaccine now, right? So I know the vaccine is very controversial, and some people are for it and some people are against it, and I don't want to get into a debate here about if it's good or not. We're just going to show you some of the vaccine memes that were funny. So no matter what side of the field or fence you are on in this controversy, we hope these will make you laugh. This one, they should first test the COVID vaccines on government officials. If they are safe, the vaccine is good. But if they die, the country is safe. I thought that was funny. You could probably put in lawyers or, car salesmen or whoever, All right, now I know that the cat and the lady meme is a classic and people might be tired of seeing it, but I never get tired of the cat and the lady. And this meme really sums up my parents' experience getting vaccinated. Vaccine prioritization by state. High-risk people trying to get an appointment. Yes, it was quite a saga for my parents to get the appointment and then go to get vaccinated, but it all worked out in the end. I love this meme. Americans, I'm not getting the vaccines. I don't trust what they put in it. Also Americans, woohoo, the McRib is back. Or as Kate added, what about American cheese? If you eat American cheese, you don't really have to worry about the vaccine. And then lastly, I'm a scientist, so I especially appreciate this one. If you've used the same sponge to wash your dishes for more than a few days in a row, then you don't have to worry about what's in the vaccine. So true.
And some more good news for those of you with kids is that the summer vacation is finally visible. It is coming up sooner than we think. But even though this one was made for 2020, it still applies this year. 2021, summer vacation is going to be lit in our hazmat suits. And then this one also is pretty accurate. Summer vacation. Now that's a phrase I've not heard in a long time. Yes, it feels like this school year has dragged on literally forever. I can't wait for it to be over. And then also this one is pretty funny. Teachers at the beginning of the year versus teachers at the end of the year.
So we want to wrap up this video with some encouraging words for you, some memes that can help you believe in yourself. Yes, times are hard, but we can get through this. You can be like Carl. Carl, you're going to get out there and you are going to catch that red dot. This one is also great. Even though things are challenging, if you are able to believe in Santa Claus for like 8 years, then you can believe in yourself for like 5 minutes. You can get through this pandemic, or just this day, or even just this hour. And sometimes getting through is just a matter of perspective, positive viewpoint, negative viewpoint. This is the same photo just taken from 2 different positions. So sometimes it's helpful to remember glass half full, glass half empty. And of course, there is the classic meme of encouragement. Hey girl, you got this.
Then we have a couple of ones for students. We have this one, my analysis shows that you are awesome. Then we have this one as well. There may come a day when our caffeine runs dry, when our faces lie unconscious in our books, a day of panic attacks and stress, and when our GPAs come crashing down. But it is not this day. This day we fight.
And it's always good and encouraging to remember that Easter is coming and that we still have Jesus, backed by popular demand. We can always trust in God. He's never going to let us down. No matter how bad things get, He will be with us through it all. All right, so that was our trip through the pandemic and memes. It has been quite a year, but laughter is the best medicine.
Yep, so we hope you enjoyed today's video. Let us know about your favorite memes down in the comments, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.